I can sympathize with a lot of the Xbox fans right now because I was in their shoes not too long ago when stuff like this was happening and I was really speaking out about it. I thought Microsoft was very much sort of taking the wrong kind of tactic with the way that they were doing things with fans because it just was kind of, they weren't intending to rub it in fans' faces, but that's what ended up kind of happening. And there was a little bit of a discourse there. I get that the gaming industry wants to make it seem like everybody's fine and everybody gets along, but that's clearly not always the case. And it's not like we don't have the behind the scenes stuff to see that now. Like we can see that both Sony and Microsoft maybe kind of get along with Nintendo on some kind of level, I guess. But that's probably mainly because Nintendo's not eating their lunch, so to speak. Like Nintendo is out there being Nintendo. And both Microsoft and Sony are ahead of them in terms of revenue, despite the fact that Sony, and Microsoft aren't selling as many consoles as the Switch. But again, the drawback to just being traditional is you hit a certain amount of sales, and then they fall off a cliff because everybody has one that wants one, and that's basically what's happening to the Switch right now. They have 125 million, and people might go, no, crap, but there's, the PlayStation 2 had 150 million or whatever it is. Yeah, and a lot of people bought the PlayStation 2 because it was the cheapest DVD player, so it was like a two birds with one stone type of deal. But this, I can see why some Xbox fans are kind of upset with this. Again, Xbox was pretty vocal in congratulating Nintendo on the release of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Again, so unless you've got some kind of heart Xbox-shaped blinders on, according to this, you've probably seen that Nintendo's latest Zelda title has now launched. Tears of the Kingdom is officially out in the wild, and it's looking like certain sections of Team Xbox will be playing this one in the coming days and weeks. First up, Xbox's Major Nelson congratulated Nintendo on the game's launch, while also hinting that he'll likely be heading to Hyrule soon. The official Xbox account itself has also tweeted about the release. So Larry Herb had this to say: "Congrats to the True Bowser and the entire Nintendo and Nintendo America teams on Tears of the Kingdom launching. I look forward to the mystery and challenges that await in Hyrule." The official Xbox Twitter said, "It's good to be back in Hyrule. Congrats, Nintendo, on Tears of the Kingdom." So obviously, probably wouldn't be surprised to see some folks over at Rare dive into the game either. The team created an amusing social media post that basically said, "We don't mind if you play Zelda instead of Sea of Thieves today. Poor old pirates, huh?" Yeah, so basically they posted a thing said, "We won't shed any tears if you're too busy in another kingdom for a sale today." Yeah. So, I mean, they're basically saying, hey, you're going to play this Zelda game instead of us, so whatever. Well, Tears of the Kingdom is an absolutely huge launch, and it seems likely we'll notice even more posts like these coming up in the next few days. I want to be 100% clear about this. Sony's official Twitter also went out there and congratulated Sony on the launch, Nintendo on the launch. Let's just be real, Zelda's a big game. And, it is a huge launch. Like, they are doing things in a vastly different way than Microsoft is. And listen, I think it's fine because people will point to this Zelda launch and go, see, this is exactly why Microsoft should go back to the old ways where they sell all the games and all this kind of stuff. But the thing is, this Zelda game, let's just say it sells 30 million copies. It's going to make whatever it may be, $1-2 billion over its life cycle or whatever. You're not going to see another one for 6 years. So the money that they're going to see for Zelda, and I know people probably either don't care what I'm explaining or they'll think it's BS, but the most of the money that they're going to get for this is going to be right up front. They're going to recoup the cost and all that kind of stuff, advertising and whatnot. I'm not sure exactly how much they'll make, but let's just say let's be generous and say they make $2 billion on this game, and the next one comes out in 6 or 7 years. So you have a 6 or 7 year wait, and you're not getting any money off that Zelda after the first likelihood of the year. Like, you're not making much off of it after that point. Now, that's a good amount of money, but let's just say when people go, oh, well, this is why this works and the Game Pass doesn't. Now, let's just say you have Game Pass and it takes 5 years between games to come out. Well, people are still paying a monthly fee to wait and in between those years to play other games. So you're constantly making, let's just say you have, 60 millions of paying subscribers on Game Pass at some point. That's billions and billions of dollars every year. And, it gives some people other things to do. So I did see other people, like Xbox fans. This isn't like, these are real Xbox fans, not Sony fans. They were upset. They say it's kind of embarrassing and cringe that Microsoft basically is congratulating these other teams and these other games when Xbox hasn't really had anything lately. It's just unfortunate that the Redfall situation is still kind of clamping down on what Microsoft is trying to do, and it's real unfortunate because I think I just actually beat Redfall, and I think it's a fun game. If you were to ask me my score, I'd say 7 out of 10. I would have gone 7.5, but I hit a glitch at the end where the final boss glitched and we couldn't finish the game. We had to start over on that last boss. Kind of a pain in the butt, a detour for 15, 25 minutes to go and do that again. And that's a bit of a problem, because you see a game like Tears of the Kingdom, it takes 6+ years, but it's a 96 Metacritic, and it's going to sell well, and it's hyped and all that kind of stuff, and lots of people are playing it. But the fact that Microsoft is out there going, hey, congratulations on your epic launch of this great game that's a 96 meta. Our game just launched, and it's a, 54 or 56 or whatever it is, some really sad meta that, honestly, the game doesn't really deserve. Just people like to pile on with the hate and things like that. So again, I can definitely see why people are frustrated with it and why people, think that it's one way or the other. But to actually see people go, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my Xbox, and, this is the last straw. They're congratulating Nintendo now, and, they congratulate Sony, and they do this and they do that. I look at that as like just completely weak nonsense, right? Like, if you're so upset about this, then, I feel sorry for you, and I've been there. Like I said, I've been there, right? I was that guy that was super upset by this stuff, but then at some point you have to kind of get over it and just go, well, I'm kind of over this stuff. It does suck, but on to the next thing. I'm sure Microsoft is going to be coming out with some amazing games. I'm sure Starfield is going to be excellent, and I think that people are going to be pleasantly surprised by what Microsoft has for the rest of this year. And that's not lying, that's not cap, as they say, or anything like that. Microsoft is doing some incredible things, and I love seeing what they have to offer next. And people that are just kind of going to jump in and make fun of Xbox, they're going to do that regardless of what Microsoft does. I saw it today, right? For instance, Forza Horizon 5. Officially 30 million people have played that game. When I mentioned that on Twitter, all I got was 30 million people downloaded it and tried it for 5 minutes and got off of it. I mean, folks, the idiocy, right? This game is literally a 92 Metacritic, looked at as one of like the best racing games of all time, and yet you have people kind of treat like it's the worst game of all time or something. Like, I don't care who you are, this is a 92 rated game, one of the best games of all the times in terms of racing. And you know what? That's again, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I'm super curious to see what Microsoft does. We're seeing so much kind of change in the way that gaming has worked over the years, and gaming continues to sort of change and evolve and things like that. No one way is right, even though there's always a lot of people that try to tell me, hey, if it's not Sony's way, it's not the right way, which I don't think is correct at all. You can have two different companies doing things two different ways, and not one of them be right and one of them be wrong. I think realistically both can be right. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Please like the video. I'm looking for 100 likes on the videos that I do. We've gotten quite a few of that lately, so I'm very appreciative. Subscribe if you haven't already. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.